What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to prepare for the World Cup. So we now know that obviously the World Cup is coming into FIFA Ultimate Team rather than having its own game mode. I personally would have preferred the own game mode, but I do like the fact that we're going to get some new cards that we can kind of keep in the game. So if you have been under a rock for the past week and a half, they are going to have World Cup red cards, they're going to have a set amount of promos, and also they're going to be having World Cup swaps. So it's going to be an interesting time. There's definitely a way to prepare for all of this. I'm going to get up the news to find the different days because I believe it kicks off on the 9th of November. So we've got until I think Wednesday to get ourselves together. And I think there's a few things that you can do because it is an Ultimate Team, how you can prepare for this. The only thing that we don't know yet, which is going to be one of the main ways that we could prepare, is packs. We don't know if the World Cup players, because they're going to be specific red cards as such, we don't know if they're going to be coming via objectives, via moments packs, or specific packs themselves. Because obviously with the red packs, they go at the end of the World Cup. They're not going to stay. So I can't imagine them to let you buy specifically them with just your coins. They could do, and obviously then it's just down to you. But with them leaving, I don't see that happening. I see that coming in some sort of way, maybe an upgrade pack or something like that to get the original red cards. So I would have suggested to start with that maybe stockpiling some 80 pluses would have been quite nice, and it would have explained why we got the 80 plus upgrades yesterday in the World Cup as well. 4 days to get them done. I'm unsure why they're in here now, if obviously they run out on the 9th, which is the release date, and we have no promo players in packs currently. So again, an interesting one to see. But the main thing is we want to get ready for the launch. We want to get our club in tip-top shape. We want to be able to then see kind of the future of it, because on the 11th we start to get Path to Glories, which is basically one-to-watches or road to the knockouts. They are upgradable cards that you'll get kind of upgrades as teams win, as they progress through the group stage, and all of that good stuff. As well as on the 11th we get swaps, which we'll be talking about of basically how we can prepare ourselves for that. That is going to be a standard, very much like how you do the same for icon swaps, and I don't know if they're going to come at the same time or if World Cup swaps are just going to take over for this one. So if you are looking at your club right now and maybe you don't have the healthy balance in terms of coins, or you just have far too many players, I would probably try and get rid of any sort of kind of top end player that you've got that is liquid coins. You've got him tradable. Get your untradeable squad together and make sure that you are just gutting out the club of anything that you think maybe I don't really need anymore, or you're going to be upgrading very soon. Because the big thing with the World Cup is it's got to be quick pace. It's got to be snappy. It's got to be fast. We don't have very long on it. So more than likely, they're going to be producing stuff quickly. Yes, it's still going to be very expensive to get everything done, but you want to make sure that you have got the right start to get stuff done. So as you see, we have got a lot of specials that are just chilling, tradable. Inform stuff, I'm kind of just keeping. I feel like that will go up. I've got really here just some discard sort of specials. They're not really worth anything. As you see, we've been saving, obviously, throughout the whole of our FUT Champs journey. So we've got every single team in a week that we got tradable there. We have got a Harry Kane as well. Going to wait for him to rise up in fodder, because obviously SBCs, they more than likely will go up in price very soon. Same with a little bit of a Foden. Is about 10k, probably go up a little bit just because everything else is going to be relatively cheaper. 83s really don't go for anything this year, so we're happily keeping all of that. And then we've got the rest of the club that we'll use for upgrade stuff. Then you want to be looking at your consumables, going through your club items, and just getting everything you don't need. For instance, if we keep going down, realistically, how many times are you going to use a Sentinel, Powerhouse, all these off leagues, like other than the ones that maybe will come in an SB, come in an objective. For instance, the squad foundations may rise Turkish kind of leagues. If I can find one, you might find that they might rise just that slight amount. I know Championship is in there, so I don't know if they have gone up in any sort of standard, but you might be able to get them gone for 200 at the start. Everything else, get it discard, get every single amount of coin that you can possibly get, and just stock your club up. Get some bronzes in, maybe start some bronze pack method, either trying to flip some cards to get a few more coins. That is going to be vital to start with, just because everything is going to be expensive in the long term. Then we have swaps. So swaps is quite an interesting one because normally it's a very easy format. They've been doing it for the past 3 years, I want to say, and it is normally one of two ways to do it. They have online and they have squad battles, which I think is going to be the same. There's definitely no way that they're thinking of anything else. But the difference is, normally we get a Premier League, a Serie A, a La Liga. It's very easy to bulk them squads up and kind of go for that. I think with these, what we're going to find is even in the squad battles and in the online, we're going to be having nations, I can imagine. It wouldn't make no other sense but to put nations in here. For instance, we have a French online in, obviously, the one league. We then maybe have something like a Poland squad battles one. They'll practically go for the big nations online, and then ones that don't necessarily have the greatest amount of golds but maybe have that one player, Poland being the best one of the example there, just because it's very easy then to do it in squad battles. And I'd just be maintaining and trying to get at least a basis, especially around like the big squad. So basically the top 9 here, I'd be looking to get at least a squad of 11 that is usable to some extent in your squad. So for instance, if we was to do, we'll do French actually. Let's see if we've got a squad that we could work with. In that, we got a beautiful red, that's come in handy. Right back, okay, is a pretty standard. Left back, we have Ferland Mendy, who would actually be my one and only loan. We have Varane and Kimpembe, cannot argue there. If we're looking at the midfield, we would be going for, I don't even know who I've got in the midfield. We'll definitely go left mid, right mid. We have got Tuchemeni, beautiful. And I'd probably go Rabiot, would I? I'd have to double check, but because I play more of a kind of central centre mid, I definitely want somebody who's not necessarily massively attacking or massively defensive focused. And then the 2 strikers are going to be Isaac Toure. Cannot wait to give that guy a go. And then also we'll go for an Mbappe. So that's going to be the French squad. So that would be the best squad probably I could make. Obviously Mbappe does help that massively. But if I went to like England or something, we've got a few specials. If we go to Germany, we again have a few specials. You want to be making sure you are doing every single objective SBC that could give you some sort of hint. Yes, you don't want to do all the expensive ones, but make sure you are underlined with a decent squad throughout, because this is what we're going to be having to do, and it just makes your job that little bit easier. Swaps is a big one, and obviously you will eventually just grind that out, and there's normally some pretty good packs for it. Then we have the Road to the World Cup. Again, very similar to the Road to the Knockouts. It's going to be upgradable cards that obviously are in packs. I believe that comes out on Black Friday weekend. So we're going to get so many SBCs. It's going to be absolutely crazy. And then obviously to final, we have the stories on December the 2nd. A little bit further away now. And then finally the final promo, possibly team of the tournament on the 9th of December. So realistically, the best way to get this started, get them teams together, 100% looking at the nations. I just can't see them doing Prem. It would make no sense in a World Cup to not kind of really spotlight the nations rather than anything. Then obviously getting the lower ones done. There will be squad battles in there, I can imagine. It will probably follow the same format. Maybe a couple of wins in foot champs as well. I can't see anything other than that, unless they revamp it all, which would be really sick. But again, it would go towards more kind of World Cup players. So again, definitely be looking at them as soon as they come out. We will be doing plenty of videos on the 9th of November to make sure that we're going at full force on this World Cup and getting as much content out for you as possible. But that is going to be it. Let me know down below what you think about the World Cup. What are your main positives and what are your main negatives about it? Let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll catch you all for the next one. Check the videos on the left. Peace.